It is time now for Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix here on FM 93.5 The Burg and WMBG AM 740. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and Williamsburg, I am here to tell you today is the day. You're going to want to find something cold to drink, sit down on the sofa in front of your radio, and get ready for some music, because this is real music from real musicians. And my guests today are Kendall and Kiersten Gonzalez. They've been here once before, and I think it's been about a year ago. But let me tell you something. These are two of the most talented teens. I'll call you teens, even though they're 12 and 14. But you don't mind if I call you a teen a little bit early, a few months early. All right, this is Kiersten and Kendall, and they are a violinist and a cellist. They are sisters. They are magnificently talented, and they are two of my favorite guests. So welcome, ladies, back to WMBG.
Thank you.
Are you excited to be here?
Of course.
Well, the interesting thing about these two is they are not only superbly talented, as I've already told you, but they are achievers of the first order. They are, every time I run into them, there's something new to report. There's some big news on the horizon. And Mama is the most wonderful encouragement you could ever have. You have a mother whose life, from what I see, is devoted to your future success. Is that an accurate assumption?
Yes.
And I love that because, as a musician myself, I know the value of a family that supports you and encourages you. And you girls have everything you need right at your disposal, because she doesn't miss one trick, does she?
No.
I love that. And she's off to the side, actually. You can't really see her behind the monitors here, but she's always with the girls and always looking out for their opportunities. So let's talk about the fact that since the last time you were here, you have amassed several awards, and you've won major competitions, and each one of you won a different competition. That part of the reward was the opportunity to make your debut at the world-famous Carnegie Hall in New York City. So at 12 and 14, I'm sitting here with two young ladies who have both performed at Carnegie Hall. What does that feel like?
It's awesome.
I'm going to want an answer from both of you.
Well, before walking on stage, I didn't feel like any nerves or anything.
Uh-huh.
And like walking on stage, you could see the chandelier.
Oh,
it was really pretty.
I bet.
And the hall is like so gorgeous, and the acoustics are really nice.
You didn't feel nervous at all?
No,
At Carnegie Hall?
No.
Oh my word. All right, so let's revisit that little nursery rhyme. What are little girls made of? What are you made of that you weren't nervous at Carnegie Hall? Gosh, that's incredible. And what was the response of a New York audience to you? What kind of a response did you elicit from them?
Applause.
Yeah? But I mean, were they just losing their minds at your age and your skill?
Oh,
No?
no.
Oh, they had to have been impressed. You just didn't realize it.
I hope so.
And in the last 2 weeks, actually, on the 17th of May, I got to tell you, it just never stops. I'm involved with the Williamsburg Host Lions Club, and we produce a music scholarship contest called the Bland Music Competition. And it's a 4-level thing. It goes from local into regional and district levels, and then to the state. And I have to tell you that Kiersten just walked away as the state champ of the Bland competition this year as well, which is no small feat either. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you want to make a comment about that? Tell me about that experience.
Well, Kendall and I, we've both been doing the competition for maybe 3 to 4 years now. And this year was actually my first year passing the regional level. So normally I would have the local level, then the regional level. And I never passed the regional level except for this year.
I didn't realize that. Because I just take for granted that you girls, don't get turned away very often. Because boy, they have everything, and if you're able to watch on Facebook today, that's great. And if not, be sure and look at the video of this radio performance, because I have to tell you, these girls have such stage presence and they have such passion for what they do musically that it's inspiring to watch, and it's exciting and exhilarating to see them at work, because the music is just on the furious side. When the first time I saw you play, and I don't even know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I don't know, it all runs together, but you girls had just come back from Martinique and came right to the competition. How long ago was that? Do you remember?
That was 3 years ago.
It was just 3? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I got to tell you, it was the first time I'd seen Kiersten perform, and you stood up in front of that audience and you just had such a passion. And it was Mozart you were playing, if I recall correctly. And I thought, he would have been so proud to watch somebody at that age. What were you, maybe 11?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and I got to tell you, you just were on fire, and your head was just moving around as you were like playing that violin with such masterful strokes, and it was inspirational. And there was no doubt from the first moment that you were truly a gifted artist, even at that moment of your development. So I'm so excited to have you all here to play. I really am.
you.
And to my knowledge, we've had some really talented artists on this show, and every week I'm blessed with a great talent that'll come in here and share their gifts with us. But I'm not sure I've had any duo in here that both of them have been on stage at Carnegie Hall. I think this is a big deal. So we're celebrating it today. So now you mentioned that you've been working on a lot on individual solo material in preparation for you're both about to go into a camp experience. Let's talk about that.
Yes, so my first camp experience, well, not my first camp experience, but my first camp this summer is being held at the Curtis Institute of Music. And it's being held by the Sphinx Performance Academy. So
Okay.
I went there last year. I know everyone, so
Right?
I know it'll really be fun.
Wow. Well, that's great. And are there all types of musicians there?
Yes, it goes from cello, viola, and violin. So
So string.
Just strings,
String
yes,
oriented.
just strings.
Okay. So how intensive of a study program is it?
It's supposed to be rounded around chamber music, so it's about 2 hours of chamber music every day, and then 2 hours of solo practice, and then you have your lesson, and then they have different activities throughout the day. So it's pretty intensive, I'd say.
And how does that differ from your normal routine? Because I imagine you're immersed in it most of the time anyway, aren't you?
Yes, so at home I usually try to practice 3 to 4 hours every day.
Nice.
So at camp it's almost like a breath of fresh air.
You get off easy for summer, huh?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. What about you, Kiersten?
My first summer camp is at the University of Michigan. It's called Center Stage Strings, and it's an only strings program. And the first 2 weeks is only chamber, and then the second 2 weeks are just for solo.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great. And have both of you reached a point where you really believe this is the career move for you? Are you both going to go after this? What are you thinking? Do you have other things on your mind, or is it just music?
I'd like to pursue something in the dentistry field, but of
Really?
course I'll continue playing the cello.
Okay, cool. And what about you?
I'm undecided.
Okay.
I still haven't chosen my
Okay.
career path yet.
Fair enough. And you certainly have all the time in the world to make that choice, but golly, I've been running my mouth around town telling everybody you're just like on your path to great music superstardom, because you just are so dedicated and so talented. And I believe that sometimes those talents only come along once in a while. Not everybody's got them. You realize that, right? That's awesome. All right, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back, and these girls are going to dazzle you with string music. And it is a very different kind of episode that we're doing today. But the beautiful part of Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix, is we are here to give you not only a dose of culture, but we are here to give you every kind of music that's out there in its superlative forms, and I am going to deliver that in high cards today. You're going to love these girls. So we'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away. Okay, we are back with Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5 The Burg and WMBG AM 740. We are Williamsburg's radio station. I'm Robert Hodge, your host, and my guests today are Kiersten and Kendall Gonzalez, two very talented young artists who are going to play some violin and cello pieces. Girls, what do we have first?
My first selection is the My first selection is the Sarah Vaughan from Bach's Third Cello Suite.
Oh, very nice. And this is a solo piece?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
so we are going to hear from Kendall first, and this should be a very interesting experience. Very nice. I want to talk just a moment about the composer when you play a piece like that, okay? And Bach, do you have any idea what might have been going through his mind image-wise? What was he trying to create with a melody like that? Do you have an impression or an idea on that?
So, as he's Bach, his nickname, I think, is the father of all music, mainly because he had 21 children, 17 of which survived to adulthood.
Yeah.
And he composed hundreds of musical selections in his lifetime. So a lot of his solo Bach, I think, is written as pieces for his children, who all played music, of course.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be a sort of learning process in music. So technically difficult, but they sound like a melody that was embellished upon a little bit.
Okay, very nice. Good answer. And what do you feel when you play a piece from that collection of his work? Do you feel some kind of personal connection to those pieces that make you choose them?
To the Sarabande, it's sort of my cool down piece. So of course it's really slow. And it has a sort of waltz tempo to it, but not exactly. And it allows you to cool down. You know, you can fall into the music and let it carry you away to wherever Bach was when he composed it.
Very nice. All right, so now we turn our thoughts to you, Kiersten. What have you got in store for us?
I have the Allegro from Bach's Partita,
Nice.
number 3 in A minor.
Okay. Well, here it is. Kiersten Gonzalez. You know what I love about watching you perform is you truly make it look so effortless. And it totally convinces people sometimes that it's not the hard work that it is to be as good as you are. But my dear, you just get up there and it's almost regal to watch you do this. And it's just so enjoyable. And both of you, you're always so supremely prepared for what it is that you're about to do, and so focused and present in the moment that it makes it such a great experience for the audience. Do you know that? Yeah. Okay, I hope so. All right, now I've asked them for a special favor. The last time they were here, as I said, it's been, I think, maybe even over a year ago. I don't know. We'd have to go back and look at the dates. But the first time they appeared on Super Sound Showcase, they brought a little medley of some pop tunes in here. And after wowing everybody with the classical music, as they've just done, they did this as a little encore. And I've asked them to reprise it because, honest to heaven, you're just not ready for what you're about to hear. So you got it for me again? Because I want to hear it. Just gets me excited. Tell them what you're about to do, and then just set it on fire. How about that?
Okay. We are about to perform a medley that we got written for us, and all the pieces are by Michael Jackson.
And somebody arranged this just for you? I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's commission them for next year, too, because good heavens, this is good work. Here it is. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And you know what? Let me just start by saying that makes me genuinely happy. And I'll tell you why. As a musician, I was trained classically too, but I've always embraced good music no matter what the style is. And that kind of versatility has served me well, and it'll do the same for you. And I love that you girls are so in tune with any kind of music, and the quality, is there no matter what your approach. And I got to tell you, it just delights people when they see how serious an artist can be in classical music. But when you can open your skills and your heart to pop music and to rock music and turn it around in an unexpected moment like that, it's just breathtaking. And to watch the two of you in such sync, that's a lot of music coming out of two little girls and two stringed instruments. That is a lot of music. So thank you for indulging me and for doing that. It just makes me happy to see y'all so good at that.
Thank you.
Did you have a good time today?
Yes, we always do.
Awesome. Well, I hope that this is just the beginning of your careers and your success, and I hope that I continue to still be involved in it because I just adore your talent, and you're so much fun to have on the show. So thank you for listening. Thank you to Culture Fix, to our friends Steve and Jen, and to Shirley. Thank you, as always, for your support of Super Sound Showcase and to the station. And to those of you listening, we can't do this, and there's no reason to do it without you tuning in every week for Super Sound Showcase. So we'll be back next week with all kinds of great music, and you never know what you're going to hear, but it'll always be great, I promise.